And hello, guys, and welcome to the Pinnacle tournament. Unfortunately, we do have to add today as a Monday to for an extra stream because yesterday we faced some problems, but it should be all sorted now. Of course, the Pinnacle is sponsored by G2A, Twitch, and your World Watchers. A shout out to them for making this tournament happen. And of course, as always, I have Strife Crew with me here. How are you doing?
Well, I'm doing good. After that whole, spectacle yesterday,
Yeah.
I was feeling pretty bad, but I think we got everything sorted out. And Firebat and Savjz were both, really helpful. They help, work with us and help us continue. So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna just have Firebat and Savjz have pretty much a rematch because their series is just kind of ruined by DDoS attacks the whole time.
Yeah.
So this is kind of the most fair and what we all kind of agreed on. So kind of just gonna go from there.
Yeah, I mean, DDoS did start after Firebat won 2-0 in the series, but then Savjz also kind of felt cheated out, right? I mean, he was already advancing to the semifinals, and then this kind of whole thing happened.
Exactly,
So
because
it
he
was
won the
also
games after too. Some of the games, even
yeah, some
though
of the team, but then
Firebat
they really
got
didn't really
DDoS.
play through. So that's the thing.
Uh,
Anyways, the, the,
yeah.
the main point is that Savjz offered to do like a restart from a 0-0, and Firebat said, "All right, I'll just throw away the 2-0." So good on both players really. And this is really what Hearthstone scene needs to have like players and like tournament organizers and everybody working together because every situation is different, right? Sure, you can just say that everybody player has to be ready for DDoS issues, but then at the same time, we do want to give the tournament some integrity, and both players are doing exactly that. So I'm really happy about that, and we should be able to see the game soon. But first, let's have a review on the brackets. So as you can see the screen here, we should pop up perfect. At the right side, nothing happened to the games that were on the right side. So Hyped and Tides, Tides is still going to take the victory there, and Tides did lose to Sixo's Crazy Zoo. So Sixo is just basically waiting to face against the winner of the left bracket. So first off, we're going to see Firebat and Savjz replaying the whole series. I think this is a very good way of doing things right, especially for this tournament. So let's hop over to their decks, and I think they should be ready to go. Savjz is going to be running his four decks as well, and Firebat once again the four decks. And we only see the difference is the warrior and the hunter, and we kind of analyzed the situation, right, Strife? The
Yeah, I mean, I
hunter
went through
was just a
before.
bit better. Because even the warrior counters hunter, the hunter really does well against the other classes.
Yeah, I think so. Hunter versus, I think, has slightly better matchups against the other three classes. So,
Mhm.
even though maybe a warrior is kind of a dark counter to Hunter, if you look at the big picture, maybe Firebat's a slight edge. We know the series can be probably very close. The last time it went all the way to 2-2 at the end. If we count, like, if the games probably didn't DC and they kind of played out, that's
Exactly.
probably kind of what would happen. So,
Right. So
then.
so there you go. So once again, I will explain the coup format very briefly for people who didn't really understand, because they're new to the stream or whatnot. The coup system basically enables a player to defeat your opponent's deck immediately at the mulligan phase. So for example, Fireback could use the coup right now to just say, I don't want to face against a Handlock. I'm gonna eliminate it from the game, but and just take a kind of like a free win in a sense. But each player can only use that power once. So even though they bring four decks, it is a best of five. This is an interesting new format that I come up with so that games can be a bit more cool or whatnot. So it's been working out so far.
Yeah, it's always nice to see new formats because, the old format is definitely getting a little bit stale, and a lot of players and I guess tournament organizers see some flaws in the old kind of standard, best of five or best of five band one deck
Hmm.
for deck format. So no one's really found the one format fits all thing yet. So we're definitely just testing different things.
All right. Well, sounds like Stripe, you might be a fan of this format. Would that be true?
Definitely want to try it. I've never played it, so I have to see.
Yes, awesome. So we did do something good here. Firebat didn't really have a turn two play, but it did. He could summon a Panther, but he chooses not to. I think he's gonna coin the Violet Teacher here instead. Seems like a pretty good turn there.
Yeah, Firebat. Okay, so yeah, we'll see. Firebat probably go with that move, and Savjz has some nice responses here. You can kind of just go over the top with one of his either Giant or Drake. What do you think will be dropped here, Giant or Drake?
I think usually you just drop the giant, right? Because it only loses to one thing, which
Mhm.
is BGH. And like Keeper of the Grove against a Twilight Drake means that your opponent you still don't really clear the board. So I would prefer the giant a little bit more, but instead Savjz is gonna go with the Drake. What do you think? Do you think that's better or
Yeah,
what do you think?
I actually very strongly agree with your analysis. It's
Mhm.
not only is there two keepers and one BGH, so it's more likely they have the keeper, but another problem with the Drake is it just doesn't contest the Violet Teacher as well
That's
because it
true.
only does 4 damage. So even if say worst case scenario or best case scenario for you, they don't have either BGH or keeper. You kind of rather have the giant out to take care of the Violet Teacher.
Exactly. So here, Firebat could remove this kind of pesky second Twilight Drake. The second one is always quite good because you already used the silence. You're kind of like two cards counter two cards, but if you have the two, what a chance your opponent has the two as well. We'll see if Firebat decides to remove it with the double raft. That's a lot of resources used to just clear this Drake, right?
Yeah, and I think Firebat wanted to play the second Drake out before turn 6, just in case there's another keeper. At least this way, even if it gets silence, the Twilight Drake can probably trade with one of these minions. Or on turn 6, it could get keeper plus Wrath or keeper plus hero powered.
Right.
So looks like Firebat is going to probably
Ooh, he goes for the
ooh.
draw here. That is really interesting. So he's gonna fall down with Power of the Wild after. No,
Wow, interesting. I actually thought especially if he was gonna cycle the Wrath, it was gonna be a Power of the Wild because you can double Wrath and remove this, but if you just cycle your first one, how are you gonna remove this?
well, it's interesting here too because he makes it really awkward for his opponent to remove his board too, right? I mean, your turn literally became summon two 1/1s and draw two cards and cycle two cards,
Mm,
right?
yeah,
Um, and I think that's pretty interesting.
yeah. I guess Warlock has no way to AoE for one.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, it's either a big AoE like Shadow Flame or Hellfire, or no AoE. So maybe Firebat didn't feel like he needed to Power the Wild this turn because 1/1s and 2/2s here are not that different. And if the 1/1s stick, like a 1/1 will probably like what I mean, like stick anyways, and then you can Power the Wild
Right.
next turn. So
And I do like the sacrifice on the Valor Teacher too because you are playing around Motor Coil. But at the same time, your opponent didn't really Motor Coil last turn, so
mm.
you feel like you could have maybe saved it, right?
Yeah, exactly. But maybe a AoE is another consideration too, like a
Right.
Hellfire. So.
But look at this turn. This is a beautiful turn. You get a BGH on the Giant, which pretty much won't happen if you didn't cycle your Rafts, right? And then the two 1/1s actually kill off the Drake here.
So you can hero power after one of them, or you can power the well and just trade one of your guys and
Uh-huh.
buff the others. So there's a lot of options. Looks like Firebat is deciding to power the well. He has a pretty strong board after, with all 7 power left over.
That's true. But this one is a vulnerable to Hellfire, which the Savjz does have in his hand currently. He draws another Giant. Oh my god, he can Giant and Hellfire here. But it does kind of like, you
It's
kind of
weird,
like
huh?
hit your Giant a bit.
Yeah. But if he Hellfire first, he could have dropped the Giant. So Savjz decides to take the sacrifice
Uh-huh.
of 3 damage on his Giant just to be able to drop it. I do like that because he had no other move after Hellfire with the 3 mana, right? It's a
Right.
Hellfire tap or drop a 8/5, and 8/5 is still a lot of pressure here. So
Yeah, exactly. But look at this. It's not that bad, right? I mean, Ancient of Lord does contest this minion. I mean, the one card you are afraid of is like Siphon Soul, so you basically just drew two cards and did nothing, right? The Loatheb would kind of guarantee the trade, but your follow-up is not that amazing. So I think Ancient of Lord is the better play. Even though it's a little bit risky, I think it's fine.
yeah, I agree. Like, yeah, you're right. Like Siphon Soul can effectively take out this 5/5, and then the Savjz can start pushing in damage. But from Firebat's perspective, he can definitely afford to take this 8 damage once, basically, because if this gets siphoned, there's not really much of a follow up with the 2 mana
Uh-huh.
left over, and then maybe you can just
Oh. Oh, whoa. Whoa, we're gonna. Oh, I thought it was a Siphon Soul for sure, but this is instead gonna be a taunt on the Giant, and now Firebat has to find a way to deal with this. What? Okay, is that gonna be helpful here?
I don't think so, but maybe. I mean, you can buff your Ancient of Lore and kill the giant for free, but I don't. It doesn't seem that great. We'll have to see. Definitely depends what other options Firebat sees, because that's one of the options, and while it does take out the 8/8, it doesn't do much else, right? So
Exactly.
maybe if there's some better options. It's a
What
complicated
is
turn
your
though.
better option? It's do you use Force of Nature here? I mean, it sounds really bad. You have so much to clear, and you do want
Yeah,
to
you have
you
the
see a
combo,
swipe,
which
and
doesn't actually do that much either.
no, it doesn't. So wow, Firebat's gonna maybe. This is definitely a very hard turn, I have to say.
Wow, if he Savage Roars. Oh, okay, so Savage Roar removes the 8/8, but then you have to punch it with your hero power.
Oh, you know you don't. So basically you Savage Roar and then you swipe the giant,
Oh,
right?
okay,
And
okay.
yeah, but then you still have to punch,
But I
right?
guess you get to remove both giants this way.
Right.
So,
And you actually have an out next turn, right? If you have a second Savage Roar.
hmm, for the
But
lethal.
definitely pretty painful there that happened, you know.
Yeah, there is going to be taunt here, so Savjz doesn't die to combo.
Right?
You definitely don't want to, just die here. And
No, 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 no,
again,
no.
again, Savjz puts heavy pressure, threatening lethal here. 9 damage on board, but I mean 9 damage on board. You have to think is threatening lethal. Dark Bomb or Draxus. So.
Right. I mean, not quite there yet, even in Savjz's hand, but Firebat seems like Sonaris is really the only legit play here, right? Um, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you
It's
kind of
scary.
Sonaris and pray, right?
Yeah, because you can definitely die if you Cenarius, and also, is it possible for the Cenarius to get stolen by Sylvanas? I guess it is,
Yeah.
but then it's kind of hard, right? So yeah, Firebat is going to go for the Cenarius, and we'll see if that's lethal or not.
Oh, with the
It's
Dark
very
Bomb,
close. It is
it
lethal.
is lethal because you siphon one and you can out one.
Silence? Yeah, that's lethal.
That is lethal. But oh, is Savjz actually gonna miss lethal here? Ooh.
No, he got it.
Oh wait, no, no, you got it. Okay, second,
Yeah, you
just
don't
second.
need the owl even.
Just Dark Bomb, yeah, okay.
Yes.
So there you go. Savjz is gonna take the first game against Firebat with the Handlock. And now Firebat needs to find a response to this deck, I guess.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens. What decks does Firebat have left? Maybe I can pull up the
Well, he
screen.
does have the Hunter, and Hunter is really, really strong against the Warrior. I'm Warlock, of course. We don't really see his whole Hunter deck, right? Because I mean he played it a bit, and it just seems like it's kind of a normal Hunter. I'm not really sure if he's running any like cool cards or whatnot.
Mhm.
Because the Kinguin tournament as Hunter ran really cool cards like Deadly Shot, BGH, and Ragnaros. I think that deck definitely does better against Handlock, but still, like Unleash the Hounds with Unleash the Hounds is actually really, really good against Handlock in my opinion. It's not a deck.
Yeah, I think it's very strong against Handlock as well. Unleash. We do know that Firebat has Doctor Boom in his Hunter, because we saw
Oh
that
yeah,
in the
you're right.
last match. I wonder if I think that might be standard nowadays, because you kind of just put Doctor Boom in everything now. So
So basically, each deck only has 29 cards, right?
it's
Okay, I'm
29
making a new
cards.
deck, Doctor Boom, and then they can decide from there.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, yeah.
I've seen some pretty crazy boom stuff with Undertakers, because it actually buffs Undertaker twice. Each boom bot
Twice.
buffs it once.
I don't think any other card has that. It has that kind of property, which buffs the
Uh-huh.
Undertaker
Yeah,
twice.
I don't think so. It had to be something like one card with 2 death rattle effects, right?
Oh,
Uh,
remember? Hey, remember we had the
the
mirror
echoing.
entity on the
Yeah,
ooze? Yeah,
yeah, that was weird.
that could happen. I'm not
Yeah,
really sure. It could have been
exactly.
weird.
Maybe.
So yeah, exactly what we predicted. Firebat is gonna use the hunter, so Savjz could actually ban out this hunter right now and just say, yep, I don't want to face it. Let's just get it out. What do you think?
Yeah, he could, but he didn't. You're mulligan.
Thank you, Stripe. I didn't know that. What I've done. Oh my god.
Well, looks like he's going for it. I mean, it kind of does make sense though. With the addition of Antique Healbot from GVG, I think people are feeling a lot better than before about this matchup, since Antique Healbot offers just so much staying power, so
Would you
much
say the
healing.
anti-Killbot actually changed the whole game? Like it's one
Yeah,
of
for
those
sure.
cards that it's kind of like Doctor Boom too, right? It just changed the whole meta so much.
Yeah, it's a major game changer. It's so powerful in a lot of decks. it's not only Handlock that uses anti-heal-bot. You know, like all the classes that didn't really have access to a lot of healing now have it. You know, you even see anti-heal-bot used in like a lot of times like mage and stuff, where you know they don't have a lot of good healing, like a control mage. So
Oh, I think Shaman is also really good with
Mhm.
NCQ.
Yeah, because they
So
don't have any
definitely.
healing either.
Alright. Oh, what? Oh my! Is that a Malorn?
Wait. Oh, that is a
Wow!
Malorn, and
It's
that
a
is from the
Malorn
web
from the
spinner.
web spinner. Oh my god! Is that
Interesting.
going to be a good card though against Handlock? I mean, it's just fodder for BGH. For example, we know Savjz is running that, so
Yeah, I mean, we can't
I
feel that Malorn's Death Rattle is relevant in this matchup, right? I mean, Hunter is just not that slow, grindy deck where you're
uh
trying to, you know, like end up with the final Malorn at the end. But
huh.
you
It's
know,
like yeah.
it's ultimately about how strong the actual creature is. So 7 mana for 9/7 is not actually weak. So
Uh huh.
definitely
Well,
think it's
here
above
is
average.
not the best turn, I would assume. I mean, you have the knife juggler, but the knife juggler doesn't really do much. I guess you can have two juggles because you can play the mad scientist, you can play the shredder, right?
Hmm.
The shredder hits the belch, you have two juggles, kind of. So you kind of go
Yeah,
with
it's very risky. If especially if it misses and you hit the juggler down to a 3/1. It
right.
looks like
So
just about just the load that because load them kind of locks out any spell, right? So it lines
mhm.
up the attacks pretty easily next turn. Like you can't be too surprised. Whoa,
Oh
load them
whoa,
and the attack.
oh wow.
I didn't
So
expect
now
the attack with the
that is
load
so
that.
like oh, so Belcher is effectively gonna take out the shredder, the first half of the shredder, and the animal companion. So that is a very
Yeah,
valuable um whatever that you call that again.
very
The
valuable
sludge
trade
belcher. Exactly. It's like no
card.
snakes
A
just
lot of
escape.
value.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's weird. I definitely expected Farah not to attack after dropping
Lothab,
the
right?
the Lothab. Yeah. Well,
Uh, but over at Savjz's side though, you have 6 mana. Sylvanas looks pretty good here, right? Just to see kind of say board stop developing, right?
mhm, exactly. Lothab is something that must be answered. Whether that's just a make a game like a huge decision to just go all in, or somehow answer Sylvanas. And it is a little bit scary for Savjz because he is going to be facing down. Oh, that's interesting. It trades like this, but I was saying he was going to be facing
Yeah.
down 6 damage with no
Well,
taunt.
he does want to trade like this because the ooze is actually gonna absorb 5 damage from this Lothab, right?
Yeah,
But this bow is actually gonna make it so that he doesn't take the 5 damage hit from the Lothab, the slime. It's actually gonna be 5 damage to the face here. You could actually bait the explosive trap to be a freezing trap here, don't you think?
yeah, you can, but you're always worried about Argus is the problem. Because even if you do this move and you just go all in, then something like Molten plus Argus or Molten plus Sunfury is gonna ruin your day. I think actually Firebat should trade both minions onto it
Oh,
because
really?
yeah,
Okay.
because when you go all in here, you just lose to Moltens, right? Because not only do you leave up Sylvanas, which means that it's gonna get the Death Rattle effect, the mind control,
Huh?
you also go push Savjz straight into Molten Giant range as well.
All right. So if you trade here, you can.
Whoa.
Oh, is he gonna? I think baiting the freezing might be like really really good because now Sylvanas, even if it gets Argus, it's at like 5 health, right?
Yeah. Because you
Oh
did the one
wow.
damage.
So yeah, we might see something interesting happen here where Savjz does take the bait. He does.
Well,
Oh, he's gonna siphon soul his own Sylvanas, huh? Oh, actually no.
if you do,
Why?
you might as well just siphon Zilla
I'm
5/5.
sorry. Yeah, of course. Like what the
I mean, it is slightly stronger a 5/4 instead of 5/5, but it's like a death rattle too. Yeah, we don't know. He was strongly considering it, and
right?
even each which target goes with
Uh-huh.
the load
And
that one.
does go with not no attack. Kill command is gonna be very important in this match. So what do you do here? Do you
Wow, boom into kill. Oh, but there's Sylvanas. Actually, that's okay, right? Because
yeah,
Sylvanas doesn't counter boom that badly with two boom bots. Like, if
uh-huh.
he attacks into Doctor Boom, not only is he already bluffing a freezing trap, which Savjz bought the
The
story there
bought
because
the
he didn't
bluff,
even
yeah.
attack. Yeah, exactly. He didn't even attack last turn, so you have to assume that Savjz is scared of freezing trap. And also, no matter how Sylvanas trades a boom, it's not too bad, right?
Ooh, instead it's gonna be a knife juggler. Establish the knife juggler instead. Ooh, this knife actually doesn't really matter too much, I guess. Well, if it hit face, it would actually matter a little bit. Ancient Watcher gonna come down here. I mean, if Savjz kind of went with the, oh, it's a freezing trap, I'm not gonna attack, then what would make him attack here?
Well, I guess one thing that would make him attack is if you just start feeling really desperate and like maybe at the beginning you play around it and at some point you're just like, well, now I just gotta pray. But it looks like he doesn't need to attack anyways. He taunts up his board, so this way he kind of forces the Sylvanas to
Get the
basically
value
be
out.
killed. Exactly.
Right. Okay, we're gonna have a draw here. A Savannah high main. Oh, this deck actually curves really high. I mean, okay, it doesn't, but the Malorn makes it so like it feels like it does.
Savjz actually silences the Knife Juggler instead of the Mad Scientist. So this way, he does get Firebat gets another secret, but Savjz plays around something like Unleash the Hounds. With 4 minions on board, you definitely have to be worried about Unleash the Hounds, especially with the Knife Juggler up. So makes the
And Firebat realizes that Savjz doesn't have Molten Giant, so he's gonna instead squeeze in the hero power here. I mean, first off, Savjz is going to test. Well, actually, he can proc it in such a way that he knows it's freezing first, sure. But he might be afraid of snakes, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I think Firebat has already shown Snake Trap in his Hunter deck. In fact, what are those 2 traps? Because we know one is...
Yeah, that's a freezing and that's a explosive, but explosive was the first one.
Okay, I see.
There you go. Yeah.
Because the Mad Scientist might have pulled the Snake Trap.
That's true. That's true.
Because he actually has the Snake Trap in his deck.
Alright, so now Savjz realizes that the second trap was indeed a freezing. So the first one is an explosive because this one is not triggering Snake Trap at all. EGH is gonna... What?
Wow. This will be a...
This will be a disaster if we play
Weird.
that.
Because, yeah, Dr. Boom and Malarn with the BGH. And so it looks like Savjz is deciding not to attack here. Right. Because he knows that this is explosive now. So if you wanted to attack, he'd attack before dropping any more creatures. Right. So you don't take free damage.
Well, he does have the anti-heal bot and does have the Loatheb as well. So it feels like there would be the other option with 9 mana. It'll be Twilight Drake plus 1 to 5s.
I think Loatheb is better here. Loatheb guarantees that you don't die to kill command here, I think. Because you lock out
well, you died to
a lot of the mana. Hunter's Mark? It's 5 mana, maybe? Oh yeah, but you still die. Do you die?
Actually, no. Not quite. You know, it's actually funny here because you're so close to lethal. So close to lethal.
But, as long as you don't die here, because of the Loatheb, you can antique healbot next turn, and you'd rather have a stronger creature out. So Savjz makes the, the quote-unquote greedier decision, but it's definitely correct here, so...
Oh, but is it the correct decision now with like 6 health left? Jiraxxus is not good.
Dude.
I was so excited.
Yeah.
Right? Like, weren't you excited
too? It looks like a really important card, but Firebat's board is too big. Jiraxxus is just not gonna do it. It needs to use removal spells, I think, and the antique healbot first.
But he needs to taunt up as... I guess antique healbot does save him. But, well, I guess if you anti-Healbot, the turn kind of plays out for you, right? You have to use the BGH on the 7/7 as well. So then, I mean, do you really want to tap against the Hunter right now? No.
Yeah, he has a coil, so maybe coil a Boombot.
Oh no! Every time you kill a Boombot, your heart kind of jumps a beat, right?
It is, but if you don't kill, they'll kill themselves. It's not, you know what I mean? Like it's still gonna blow you up, right? So.
Oh, okay. I like the
taking,
reasoning.
It's like taking the medicine. You know what I mean? Like when you're a little kid, right? You gotta get it over with.
Oh man.
Oh, it looks like there's no GH if this happens.
Wait, what? Oh.
Maybe it's Hellfire plus.
Oh, 1 damage is not gonna do it. He's actually gonna sacrifice his Loatheb here to keep the BGH.
Yeah.
And where's this bomb gonna go? Where's this bomb gonna go? Is it gonna?
Oh.
Oh. Wait.
Jiraxxus.
But is that lethal?
That's actually pretty lucky for Savjz because the bomb hits the face perfectly and then he gets to heal up. I think Savjz missed an attack though.
Is this a win already? Oh wait, no, it's 1 damage off of lethal.
Okay, that's 5 damage,
14.
6, 7, 8, 9. Ah, that is 1 damage off. Wow.
Wow. Is this gonna be the biggest comeback of the century for Savjz? I mean,
Yeah, because
uh,
there's another heal bot, but it's still not looking good, I'd say.
uh,
Um,
well, I mean, you could put in the Clockwork Gnome right now. You can hero power as well. I don't think you want to out like that. You want out to get rid of a taunt, right?
yeah,
And
exactly.
oh my lord,
Which
oh,
is getting
look at
BGH
that.
probably.
Yeah, which is interesting, right? I mean, BJ should be
Uh-huh.
dead against Hunter, especially when you kill off what's his face, Dr. Broom like that, right?
Yeah, I like Firebat's decision to attack with the weapon. Even though you're losing value from the explosive trap, there's almost no chance that he's gonna proc the explosive trap right here because he's so close to dying. And this way, if Savjz somehow makes a gigantic wall of taunts, which Firebat knows is possible because the Argus got, returned to the hand, then you can just hero power plus kill command and win. So you get the 3 damage from the bow guaranteed.
Sure. I think Savage is actually thinking of maybe a Hellfire here instead of a BGH, because it does clear the whole board, right? That's what
Yeah.
you're trying to achieve. If it does that, then the Malorn gets shuffled back in the deck, and little does Firebat know, he doesn't want to see the Malorn again.
BGH.
Like, wow, it's actually a bad death rattle because you actually skip your draw.
Yeah. You don't want to draw a Malorn. But to be fair, you don't really want to draw anything late game. You know what I mean? They're all kind of weak. So
Oh, okay.
he just wants to draw more kill commands and Eaglehorn bows, pretty much, right?
All right, so he's gonna proc this explosive. He's gonna play the. Oh no! Oh wait. Oh. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I can use the Shadow Flame first. He's gonna kill the
Ah.
Hellfire. That's really weird.
I guess he doesn't want to take 3 extra damage from Hellfire. At this
Right.
point, your life is too important, but unfortunately for Savjz, he has no more healing, so he's on a timer now.
Yeah, he is on a timer. No more healing. You have Hellfire that also kills yourself. Your opponent has a stealth Undertaker, and you have an owl to kind of like kind of get through any taunts. So I mean, what can Firebat top deck here? Any death rattle?
Another kill command would be lethal.
Oh yeah, of course, but
Another thing he wants is another Eaglehorn bow. I think those are the 2 best. That's not what he wants to see.
Ooh, but it's something at least.
At least it's a death
So,
rattle.
all right.
Yeah, this is definitely gonna be a race, right? Savjz just trying to kill Firebat before Firebat kills him. At this point,
Right.
Savjz has no more healing in his hand. He might have another heal bot or something, but otherwise he needs to race. So this turn.
Okay, so how much damage does Savjz have? He has 9 plus 7 is 16. And that's not enough.
So does he have lethal? If the answer is no, then he's dead.
Now the answer is no.
So he's
So
dead.
he's dead.
Yeah, it's that simple.
Oh, man. You know, it was funny because Savjz was actually down to 1 health as well in Jirax's form anyways, like about what, 2 turns ago?
Yeah.
And now it's the same situation where he doesn't have an answer. He
Savjz
probably
heals
is
so
gonna
much this game.
yeah, so there you go. It's gonna be attack, attack. Just so close, but yet so far. Hellfire is gonna kill yourself before you kill your opponent. Firebat is going to win this game.
The interesting thing is if Firebat was at a little bit lower life, like say 3, and the Hellfire tied the game, then it'd be a regame because it's actually a situation where the tie is relevant, right? Because if you know you're gonna die next turn, you have to go for the tie. It's better than losing.
Well, obviously, I think that's a very logical situation to be in, but you can't even tie there, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So we'll go back to the deck selection screen once again. Hunter is going to defeat the Handlock. Well, actually, it's kind of close, right? We thought it was going to be a bit, it's just Hunter beats Handlock, right? But definitely very close. I think Savjz might actually bring out the Warrior here. Seems to make sense.
Yeah, Warrior is pretty good versus Handlock, especially if you know that they're Handlock. Like on ladder, it's always awkward, right? Because you don't know whether they're playing 0 Handlock, so a lot of your mulligans are weird. If you know they're 100% Handlock, you can really try hard to get cards like Big Game Hunter and maybe even like Owl and Execute, Shield Slam, Armor, Shield Block instead of cards like Fire War Axe and Armor Smith. So.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. But I think Warrior is the go-to pick here. I mean, if Savjz is running Warrior, then this is the best matchup. Do you really want to run Warrior against a Paladin or a Handlock? I don't think so. Well, against Handlock, I feel like it's okay, right? It's not that bad a matchup, but use it when you can.
Yeah. Oh, it's actually versus Hunter. For some reason, I thought it was versus Warlock.
Yeah. So I mean, it still makes sense, right? That if it's gonna be a Handlock, that
Yeah.
he wants to like kind of make his warrior not fake his face against Handlock, because I mean, sure you're running like oh wait, actually no, Savjz is running Bouncing Blades,
Hmm.
right? So it's actually not pretty good against Handlock.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, but he's playing versus Hunter, so because Firebat just won with Hunter, so yeah, I mean, Warrior seems like what you want against Hunter. Just keep arming up.
Well, all right then. We're gonna actually look. I mean, just head into the game right now and see what happens. And well, actually,
We just heard from the admins. They
admins.
went into the next game, and both players used their coup. We don't know what matchup Savitz picked,
Yeah,
but
we don't really know.
something got queued. In fact, both of them got queued, so everything is queued. That's weird
Everything is
because
crude.
is it?
Oh
It's so
man.
weird that both people used the coup
All
together,
right.
right? It means that they both didn't want to play the matchup or something,
Exactly.
Which is weird because
Well,
someone should want to play it if the other person doesn't want to play it. But sometimes you just. But everyone, it's like Hearthstone, right? Everyone has different opinions on which decks are strong against what, and
mhm.
players might have different views. So it's ultimately based on personal preference. You have
But
stuff,
I still think
weird
it's gonna
stuff
be
like
the.
this.
It's probably the warrior pickup into the hunter, right? So
Hmm.
I can't imagine anything else, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll see what
Okay.
happens.
Okay.
No, I mean it's just too confusing
Right.
for
But
me
now, if
now.
we,
So
okay,
we'll have
so
to
we
see
have
what
to
happens.
look back at the matchups now. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure we can confirm that it is a warrior. So we can just scratch off both coups here, scratch off both warrior and hunter. So now it's kind of like a new game again. Where it's like a best of three and blind pick. You have warlock and paladin on Firebat side, and you have paladin and druid on Savjz side. Now that's interesting because if you cross up all of these matchups, well, paladin is a mirror, druid against warlock, it's kind of even, right? You see that druid versus paladin. Who wins that matchup?
Hmm.
It's
Druid
kind of
versus
even, right?
Paladin. Yeah, I think Paladin has the edge a little bit, just
Okay.
because of just because of the quartermaster stuff.
Right.
Like
And then what
quartermaster
about
is so
paladin versus
strong.
warlock?
Paladin versus warlock. I guess it depends, right? Because it depends on how many BGHs and owls you run. Because Pally
Right.
has an okay time dealing with Warlock. You have Equality Consecrate for Molten Giants.
Mhm.
Even if you don't have BGH, you still have Elder Peacekeeper for Giants.
Right. It's definitely a very head scratching situation, but we are going to see the paladin versus warlock or handlock matchup here. Savjz has a pretty good starting hand, and well,
Yeah, I mean Firebat hasn't mulligan yet, so we'll have to see how he mulligans. Oh, we do see two anti-kill bots though. Oh yeah.
ooh, sweet old Shredder. Is that going to see play this game? I mean, we're assuming with such an aggressive start from Savjz's hand, is not going to see. Oh my God, is it?
A big game hunter is a really good pickup for
There's
sweets. It's
longest pickup
exactly
here.
what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Farbat's handlock is really greedy from what we remember.
Right. Like
Ah,
you're running Sylvanas as well. Like it curves really high.
picks up an owl here. This definitely changes his play. He probably wouldn't have played this Watcher if he didn't get the owl, but now he can use the Watcher to take out the Juggler after
Oh,
silencing
but
it.
can he? The Watcher actually takes a lot of damage here, and well,
Yeah.
oh, Sage is actually doing the trade. Not a really exciting card for Firebat right now.
I wonder if
So
you just Shadow Flame now that you know what I mean? Like if the Juggles hit face, it'd be different, right? But now it looks kind of weird to silence your Watcher and go for
mhm.
the Juggler. And if you do Shadow Flame, do you want to just tap this turn Shadow Flame next turn? Because you still have one more turn before Quartermaster.
But then the thing is like, if Firebat actually taps and leaves the Watcher alive, don't you think that Savage will just remove this?
That's true, it can just die. Especially since there's a Knife Juggler. So say Savitz just goes shield a mini bot and make a dude, and both pings hit it, and then you can just kill it with your weapon, you know, or even
Yeah,
just
that's
you know
really good.
1-1.
Or just
Yeah,
sacrifice a 1/1. Yeah.
exactly.
So
So
definitely a lot of things to take into consideration here, and I think Firebat actually realizes like all these things that can happen, right?
yeah, maybe a
So
coin Twilight Drake instead of Shadow Flame, and
oh
just
yeah,
shove
you
them
could do
next to
that
it.
actually. That would have
That
been
way you can stagger out something, right? Like whatever, something will stick probably, and then you can, well, yeah, a lot of
whoa.
different options.
And of course, the Tick Master Overspark that we see from Savjz's deck. Actually, he hasn't been able to use that effectively ever, right?
Yeah, I
So
haven't seen
maybe we'll
that
see
card
it
in a
this game.
while. I remember back in the old days, like that was the one of the most imbalanced
Oh
cards
my
back when
god.
it was a 2/2, but you could target the effect, and that was a card that was used in almost every deck. But you know, ever since the nerf on Tinkmaster, it hasn't really shown up in competitive play anymore.
Right. That's just been, just I don't want to see that card. You don't want to see that card. It's one of those cards that you're glad that it's out of the game, right? Oh wow.
Whoa, dub BGH,
Dub. Dub, dub,
dub
dub. Do you
BG.
kill a shredder here first though? Like what if there's a Doomsayer?
Mhm.
Oh, you don't
Just goes face, I guess.
show
You
his
know,
face.
you're okay with taking the 8 damage here from the 2 Shredders because of your Molten Giant. So maybe you're just like almost baiting Savjz into getting you into Molten Giant range.
Oh wow. Safisha says, nope, I am going in. I have the equality. Do what
Yeah.
you will, right?
Yep.
Uh
Exactly.
so
If you do have
I
equality, you generally don't care about any Molten Giant plays, just because equality counters the Molten Giant combo so hard.
mhm. So like even though Firebat has a Molten into Argus right now, it feels really, really awkward for that to happen, right? Oh wait, whoa, he can owl and actually trade off and then use the Argus as well. That could be a good play.
Yeah, the only the only issue, I mean, I think it's very good, but the only issue is you really want to save your Al for Tyrion. But you know, sometimes like a lot of this matchup comes down to whether you can hold off on saving your Al for Tyrion or not, because
Okay.
sometimes you just have to do it, and then you have no answer to Tyrion anymore unless
Wow,
you
a
draw your second.
very I think that's a very smart play by doing that. Like, and wow. Wow. No,
It's a race.
nobody cares about anything right now, okay? Like it's just like nobody has all the minions as stealth. That's what's happening, right? I
Yeah.
guess I'm gonna go for a face.
Yeah, I like Firebat's play here because if you just Argus, you're weak to Equality Consecrate anyways. In fact, this is safer by healing up in a way, because
Uh-huh.
heal isn't countered by the Equality Consecrate combo because you still at least get the 8 points of healing. Whereas
Right.
taunting up, you know, it's not as safe. It's really cool to just go face. Now you're threatening lethal here with
I know,
Firebat.
right? I did not expect that. That was actually a beautiful play.
Yeah.
So now Savjz will actually trade off the Shredder because he's kind of scared of dying. What is popping up here? It's a Vitality Totem.
Ooh, is that
Wow.
good?
That I
Because
guess it's good.
that is good, actually. It's actually weird, right? But I actually think it's good. I mean, so he took a lot of damage, and now he can
Mhm.
slowly heal up. Like healing 4 damage every turn is definitely relevant. You know,
Yeah, I mean it's a
much
super
more
light
so
buff.
than say a random like 1/1 or a 2/2 sometimes.
Right. Firebat definitely needs some help here. He is kind of dying very, very fast here. Lothar is going to seal out any spells that are going to be casted this turn,
So
but it's
two
turn
da
8.
Oh, that's
And
lethal.
oh, a sword top deck is going to do the job here.
So Savjz takes out Firebat's really greedy handlock deck with his paladin.
Mhm.
Not only does
And
Firebat have a lot of greedy big drops, he actually has double VGH as well.
yeah, that's right. And it's really tuned to beating the control matchup, I would imagine. So,
I think so.
yeah, not the control matchup that Paladins are running because Paladins now they don't run control, they run mid
No,
range.
mid range.
With just curving as high as Tyrion and Lay on Hands goes, they have like shielded minibot, muster for battle, quartermasters, and shredders as well. So, Firebat is down to his last hopes right now with Paladin.
Yeah, Firebat has putting on like all his eggs are in the Paladin basket. You know, hopefully Paladin can take out both of Sweet's decks. It's definitely possible because you know the mirror, let's say, can go either way, 50-50
Mm-hmm.
maybe. And I think Paladin does have a good matchup against Druid, but I definitely have to put Savjz in a commanding position here because two decks against one, with one of them being a mirror matchup. So seems like Savjz has a nice edge here for now.
Yeah, usually if you have a mirror matchup plus a bad matchup, you're still ahead, right?
Yeah, exactly. 150-50 and like say 135-65 still puts you at a
Yeah.
pretty steep, advantage. Oh, Blood Knight.
Oh, Blood
Is
Knight
that
is
really
the card to
sick?
keep, right? I mean,
Exactly. It's Paladin Mirror, so they have shit like Blood Knight on your own minion is really good, right? But
yeah,
Blood Knight on your enemy's minion is like amazingly good.
it's insane.
Hmm.
But look at that start from Savjz here. Double Zombie Chow is gonna
Wow.
do so much work.
Double Zombie Chow is like the dream opening in Paladin Mirror. Paladin Mirror is all about who can snowball minions and get early board control. Who can like develop Dude Slayers and keep their enemy board down. And Zombie Chow is like the single most influential card early
Oh
game.
wow, wait, what? He decides to just put one Zombie Chow?
Well, I guess it does.
Like that.
Hmm,
I feel like that's
maybe.
so bad.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
I
Maybe
guess
he's
he
up to
wants to
another
save his
plan
coin for the
for
4-drop.
Argus.
Maybe.
Yeah, I guess, but it seems really weird. Especially
Yeah.
now you have Muster for battle and it can actually clear this really, really nicely.
The
Right?
muster, yeah, actually does a lot of good work here. You can
Wow.
remove one of the zombie chows, but two zombie chows probably wouldn't have been that different. Maybe get an extra attack off, but it would have still kind of traded for the muster tokens eventually.
Ooh, we have a Divine Shield drawn for Savjz. This might be really,
Wow,
really
this might be a
bad.
disaster.
Might be
But
a disaster.
Savjz, so
Dude.
let's see if Savjz decides to shield a mini bot here or maybe Shredder.
Right. I mean, I think it's going to be a Shredder because he can say, "Oh, I
Yeah.
just shielded minibot and do it next turn," right? And that's really good.
Because the divine shield doesn't get a lot of value when they have a whole
What?
bunch of 1/1s. Wow, and
What?
he actually goes to the third play that we definitely didn't expect.
Wait.
Oh, okay. Do you see? I kind of see something. Maybe he wants to save the coin for Harrison Jones and draw 2 cards,
Oh, you're right.
right?
Oh yeah, you're. Oh wow.
But the interesting thing is he didn't even decide to use the shield mini bot. Was that to play around Blood Knight?
No, no,
He
no, no,
looks
no.
like a
He definitely doesn't.
genius.
I don't think he expects Blood Knight. Definitely not. But I think the coin Harrison does make a lot of sense.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So,
So,
oh,
yeah,
exactly. He does
comes.
that.
Draw 2 cards and kill the weapon. Very strong card. It's
Well,
like
I mean, you're not really
Ancient
killing
of
the
Lore.
weapon. It's basically Age of Lore, right? I mean, killing the
Yeah,
weapon doesn't really do that much. I believe.
not too much, huh?
Uh-huh.
This one attack weapon isn't threatening that much.
Oh
The
my
second
god,
Blood
cap
Knight.
another one. The ooze is actually
Yeah.
not that bad here because it's going to be
3-2.
protected by the creature.
Yeah. 3-2 is definitely an above average 2-drop, I think. Like
Uh-huh.
a lot of them come out as 2/2s randomly with like weird battle cry effects that don't actually proc. So I definitely think that 3-2, like the average card that comes out of a shredder is like somewhere around a 2/2, not a 2/3 or a 3/2. So that's
Oh,
a
like,
little bit
yeah.
above average.
Okay. Maybe like a 2.25, right?
2 1/4. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Like imagine if there are quarters in Hearthstone. You go
Oh
like,
man,
oh, this is like a math quiz. Oh, a naked
wow.
quartermaster here.
Quartermaster. This actually is happening a lot in this tournament. Oh,
Oh,
Divine
wow.
Shield Blood Knight combo. Do you think we'll see that?
I think you might wanna. I
Doesn't
don't
really
know.
have anything else to do, right?
I guess so. I
You have
guess you
another
go
Blood
ahead and
Knight.
do it.
Yeah,
It's still
I mean,
pretty strong.
Even though Blood Knight is really good in this matchup for destroying your opponent's Divine Shield, you have 2, so you have to think that when just use one when you have the chance, right? Because
Okay.
2 is too much for like a situational effect like that. 2
Two
Blood.
is too much. Hey, we heard it here first. Knife Juggler and Mustard combo here for Savjz if he chooses to do that. No, he's just taking Argus and make the 2/5 Water Elemental, pretty much.
Oh, it gets the worst ping here because
That's terrible. Ooh, so now Sword is
Wow.
really important because there is no more Harrison.
perfect, and it takes out the juggler, or actually the 3/3, and use the ooze to take out the 4/3. But
That
it's a
sounds
small
pretty
difference.
good. Yep.
Yeah,
And do
a lot
you
of
go
value.
face here for 6 damage? I mean, it's so enticing.
Hmm. Do you go face here? Probably.
Very enticing. Yeah,
It's
Firebat.
so much damage that
Yeah,
it's
I
hard
mean,
to
are you
pass
really
up.
gonna give out 6 damage? I mean, the only
Just to
card
get a
that.
slightly better trade.
Yeah, exactly. Oh wow. So Dr. Boom, of course, comes down here. It's turn set. I forgot. But BGH is gonna do a lot of work here.
Yeah. Definitely BJH over Aldor, because you can Aldor anything. You can only BJH just
That's
very
right.
specific targets. And in fact, the Paladin mirror, the only thing that's BJHable is the Doctor Boom, because Tyrion is not big enough.
That's
Unless
right.
they're using Ragnaros. So I definitely think you need to use BJH while you can. Oh, so this is a very smart move.
Ooh.
Gets a little bit unlucky, but you want to take out the Boom Bot before BJH, because BJH is very weak to Boom Bot.
Right. But wouldn't you want to hit with the slime first? Isn't that a little slight misplay? Because if the slime hit, then you don't have like a one hit KO on one of your stuff, right? So if
Yeah,
the
I
bomb
think
would have
so.
bounced on the 1-1, like the slime would have still lived. So
Exactly.
like a little slight misplay there, I think.
Yeah, he definitely should have made a dude first, right, before killing a boom bot.
Yeah, a lot of things. You make a dude first, you hit with the slime
Yeah,
first. Yeah.
exactly, exactly. Because you don't care if your dude dies to the boom bot. Well, I mean, you do kind of care, but you'd rather your dude die than your.
Ooh.
Oh, that's why BGH isn't that good against Doctor Boom.
Oh,
It
but
just dies to boom bot.
wow. And of course, the lay on hands is gonna give Savjz even more power here. Double muster and a quartermaster coming in. What do you do with this hand? You just pass. That's really sad.
Yeah, I guess you don't want to overcommit anymore because of Equality Consecrate. The lay on hands move last turn from Savjz means that he has a very high chance of having the combo once you draw that many cards, so
Right.
you don't want to play more into it.
Well, no, it's definitely things have changed. It's looking really bad for Firebat here.
This
Let's
muster
look
is
out
effectively forcing out the Consecrate as well.
exactly. But then Firebat needs something else to play along with this consecrate, right? And oh,
Ooh.
I mean, your opponent didn't play a silence yet.
Uh-huh. It's so scary, though, because if you do
Oh,
just Tyrion, you know what happens against Muster. I mean, Quartermaster. Unfortunately for Firebat, Savjz has another Muster and Quartermaster.
into
Round
quartermaster
two.
too,
It's
yeah.
gonna be a
So,
round two.
oh man, that you just hate to see that.
Yeah.
Oh, the divine shield drawn and the blood knight is used too preemptively. So, I mean, I pretty much imagine we're gonna see that play that we said, the muster
Yeah,
into
Muster,
quartermaster.
dude.
You could
Or
also
that's
get a dude.
yeah. So 4 3 3s and a 2 5. That is the power spike that really makes this Paladin deck. You know, that's like kind of why that's archetype kind of popped out after GVG. It's just this combo and this kind of turn. You know, mid-range decks really need like a strong um,
Mid-range cards, you
power,
know?
yeah, like a power spike, right? So
Right,
this is the
exactly.
power spike that Paladin really needed for this archetype to pop out, and
So
here it
now, I
is.
mean, Firebat is not gonna win in the board control game. Your opponent has 5 cards, you only have 3. So
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure this is gonna go to the face.
All in, huh? I definitely agree with this move. You have Owl for the enemy Tyrion as well.
Right?
So all in, all the time. Here it comes.
Well, oh, just as you said it, Tyrion is
That
gonna show up for Savjz as well.
is that even
Um,
good? It might bait him into using all his
it
mana
might
for
bait him
Tyrion.
into actually misplaying, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because then you just get Owl and killed. Well, I don't know. Can Savjz remove everything here?
He can't remove the shield and mini buff for sure. And there is no threat of the Harrison removing the Ashbringer here, right? Oh man, this is actually really tense moment.
Wow,
It's
Firebat's
gonna
so
trade.
close here.
I mean, Savjz is so close here.
Everyone's close here. So
So what
who's
do you
gonna win the
draw?
race, right? Because you.
No, you
Oh
can Aldor it.
wow.
No, you can silence the Tyrion and actually Aldor it, so that it becomes a Dude Slayer. And Tyrion is like, I mean, he's a pretty good Dude Slayer at 6 health, right?
Yeah, but you don't care
But you
about
don't want
dudes
to do
like
it,
here. You just care about killing your opponent now. It's
right?
2 damage off. Who's gonna win the race? And do you Sylvanas here? Do you Aldor here? I
Oh
guess
my
you Aldor.
god,
You're scared of dying, right?
you're
Oh,
scared to die, aren't you?
Sylvanas. Wait.
How
So
much
let's
damage
count
is
the
this?
damage. 6, 7,
Okay, so
8,
10,
9.
12
Okay, so
damage.
I can't die. I
You
do like
can't.
the
Oh
Sylvanas
my
play.
god,
Wow,
this
that's
game was
it.
so close.
Hmm.
Insanity.
Yeah. So Vitz can't stop the weapon, even if he somehow removes this entire board. He can't make a taunt for the
Oh,
weapon
you
that
can try
Firebat
and kill your
has.
own. Oh, you can't kill your shredder. That's a shame.
Wow, that would be hard to do. Play a
I mean,
shredder and
okay.
kill
So do
yourself.
you run like shredder in like Handlock so that you can dark bomb it if you have no other options?
Yeah, maybe. I don't think so though.
Uh, all right. Well, Firebat of the YOLO play gets rewarded with a win here. Savjz has no way of dealing with this. I mean, wait, actually, oh, there is.
Is
Oh, there
there?
is.
What?
Yeah, there is. So you equality, you play the shredder, you hit the Sylvanas, and you give your opponent the shredder, and then oh wait, actually you can't stop the weapon too, right? Oh god damn it. Doesn't work.
Well, yeah, there.
I was trying so hard. You could give
Yeah,
your opponent shredder, and then no, it was actually
Smart.
100% dead
Yeah.
there. So wow, we're actually gonna go to a finals, and it's pretty exciting to see that happen. Paladin is gonna face against the Druid, and like we said before, Paladin actually can deal with Druid, right?
Definitely now, Paladin can definitely just go toe to toe Druid the whole game, and Druid is more based on the combo, the burst at the end, whereas Paladin is more based on just trying to maintain the board control and
And just playing from
well,
ahead, right?
exactly. So I guess this matchup is pretty much all dependent on who gets ahead, right? Because if Paladin gets ahead, Druid can't make a comeback. But if Druid gets ahead, then Paladin can just die to combo, right? Because even if you stick like one Yeti by turn 9, you can threaten like 20 damage from the combo. So
Right. And I mean, don't you think that going second is really important then? Unless you're running like a zombie chow, like you get more options.
mm,
You get more cards. Like you have a better chance of getting a better opener, don't you think? Like I love going
yeah,
second, mid range.
exactly. Especially as Druid, right? Because you have 4 cards. Like you start with 4 cards instead of 3 cards. 4 cards and a coin. So technically 5 cards. But if you don't count the coin, you have one more chance of drawing Wild Growth, the very important card.
All right. Well, pretty good hands for both players here, to be honest. You have Shade at Savjz's side. He's actually got the keeper for some Blood Knight shenanigans. We kind of see that happen.
Yeah,
Firebat has a pretty good curve as well with the outdoor, possibly nullifying something like a Spectral Knight. So
yeah,
pretty good hands for both players.
yeah. Um, I'm gonna make like a prediction that like from what I've seen, Sylvanas against Druid is an incredibly strong card. Like so, I've played a lot of games where Sylvanas is the card that absolutely destroys Druid, because it's so hard to silence Sylvanas at 4 mana,
Mm-hmm.
like with a keeper, and if you don't have silence, it can just wreck you. Like he steals like a big shade or something like that, or if you have 2/5/5s and they drop Sylvanas and they have say a turn 5 Sludge Belcher, it's like the most awkward thing ever.
Right. I mean, of course, that is a problem, but then at the same time, Sylvanas does cost 6 mana, so you can't really just go like, "Oh, I have Sylvanas, I want the game," right? You
Yeah,
still kind of have to
exactly.
kind of control
You
the
still have
situation.
to you still have to maintain board control the whole game and not fall too far behind. And this opening is really strong for Firebat of 6/6 here, immune to BGH. It feels 9/9. It would have been worse, but perfect guy. It's not too weak to science because it's not like a keeper, right? It gets science and it's just like a 4/1. I mean, just
Right.
dies. It's still a 3/3. So it's kind of like Void Terror being silenced. Even though it does do a lot, it's still a useful creature after.
I feel like the Blood Knight kind of forced Savjz to kind of like silence the Enoritron in a sense, right? You're kind of just kicking off a Divine Shield, right? And oh my god, that is a
Wow.
really important card to draw right now.
Yeah. And actually, with the pickup of the True Silver and how the Blood Knight forced the Keeper, this game might go, kind of like what I said about the Sylvanas, because now there's no answer to Sylvanas without the Keeper. And
You're right.
and Firebat is kind of pushing ahead with the True Silver as well, so.
So actually, the Blood Knight is actually doing some hidden amounts of work, right? You think that,
Exactly.
oh yeah, Blood Knight just got silenced, it was just terrible for you, but no, it's
Yeah.
actually more long term than that.
hmm So we'll see. Savjz has a lot of 5 drops here.
Huh?
If he rats, I'm expecting Innervate one of the 5 drops.
Alright,
Definitely
he's
don't.
just gonna kill this off, yeah, just like that. He's probably gonna innovate the Spectral Knight. I mean, the other one doesn't really make sense, but he's gonna actually get punished a little bit here because it's gonna be a coin Sylvanas. Like, imagine if he played the Lothab. That would have been so different. Okay, maybe not. He has a Butcher, but still, like, it would have been pretty good. Oh, Aldor instead here. Wow. Do you like that?
I'm not sure I do. If you coin out Sylvanas, doesn't it look really sick for you?
Well, you do
But,
lose
oh,
to
I guess this makes sense because you have the True Silver champion.
uh-huh.
So if you're gonna True Silver down, um, you know, that minion, then you don't want to just have a Sylvanas against a Spectral Knight.
Wow! Is that all gonna be good or what?
I don't think so. Sylvanas is better.
Oh,
Think so.
Sylvanas is better.
Yeah, Sylvanas is so sick here now, right? With the Death Rattle
Right.
here. With the no keeper now, this is exactly the type of situation that Druid does not want to be in. It's like the
Alright.
super awkward position now with the Sylvanas.
Oh yeah, you're right. So now what can Savjz do? He could I mean, oh yeah, you're right. This is actually really awkward. I was like, oh, you just play Lothar and go face, right? But
Oh
I
man.
mean, it's just so obvious, but I guess you
Oh
can't
man,
do
I
that.
love how go face. That could turn out to be a disaster, right?
Well, actually, he might actually go for. I mean, look at his hand. Like, look at the quality of cards. It's like rush, 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 right?
So, what would be the most rushy way to play this? Druid Call Charge all in?
Lotheb all in.
Oh
No,
man.
Lotheb is bad because it trades with the Sylvanas, right?
Yeah, like say if you can take out your Spectral Knight, then it guarantees a steal after the trade on the on the Paladin Shredder. What's it called? Sky Golem.
How
Sorry.
is it Sky Golem, right? It's like crazy, crazy sauce.
Yeah.
Oh, he can actually charge and kill the Aldor here. How about that move? Ooh. That might get punished by equality here.
Oh,
I
you're
think
right.
equality is sick here.
Wow, it steals the Paladin Sky.
I know. That is insane. And you
Yes,
can play a
Sylvanas
Belcher
does
after
work.
that as well.
Oh wow, that is
Wow, what a turnaround.
yeah.
This game has been just turning around and around. I mean, this whole series even, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
And also, Firebat actually has a antique heal bot, so he can push himself out of combo range. Not that he needs to with the Sludge Belcher, and this is like very.
Well, I mean, Sludge Belcher here is more important than the
yeah, exactly.
than the because you can protect this 6-1. And well, not really because it's gonna have a swipe here, but this 4 is gonna be
oh, a bad one. 2-5.
Not really the best one you can hope for, but it's still something. 5 health, you still have to remove it, right?
Yeah, exactly. We'll see what
Uh,
Firebat.
oh!
Could there be a better pickup? You know, is there anything better
There
than
is
Tyrion
nothing.
on turn 8?
Is Leon Hans no, Leon Hans is not better, right?
No.
This is the
Oh,
best.
but maybe yeah, exactly. It's the best single drop. I think you can make a point, an argument that Muster plus Quartermaster is stronger, but that's
But you
two
can't draw the
cards.
2 cards, right? Right now.
Exactly.
Oh my god. Tyrion is gonna do some work here. Savjz is in pretty much a little bit of a as you would put it, a pickle.
Definitely. But he's in a pickle.
He is in the pickle.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess do you punch the Divine Shield? Oh no! Ow!
Oh man, ow! And then now you get hit again. Are you just? Oh man, this is rip
Oh my
pepper?
god! And the Karen as well in this deck. Wow.
Yeah. Okay, so
Wait. You
I
anti-kill
think you
bar
want
for
to play
sure.
around combo somehow, just in case.
Well, you can anti-kill bar and you can play around combo. I mean, this Tyrion should go for the face, right?
I
Don't you
guess
think
we're so
face
close
is
to
good?
lethal. Might as well, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that should be it.
That should be the game. Unless Savjz draws like what?
24 now, so it's not. Oh, Harrison Jones.
Wait. Does that work?
But I don't. I mean, it's.
No, that is it. So Force of Nature is gonna kill this Tyrion. Sure, you're gonna Harrison, but look at that. Look at that.
Too many
board.
minions now. So.
Too many minions. I think Firebat is gonna run away with the victory here.
Let's see if you draw like another Innervate and something else to do, maybe. But
No, I
is
don't
that
think.
possible? He already used 2 Innervates already, so yeah, that's it.
That is it, and well played by Firebat, winning the series there, and it's really crazy, right? Don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really crazy, and these players are so evenly matched. You know, we've played 2 series, Firebat versus Savjz, and both of them kind of went down to the wire. And
Yeah.
yeah,
And of course, I do have to give a shout out to both these players, right? I mean, we did have the connection issues. We don't need to dodge that. We can mention it, right? Savjz did actually we kind of awarded the win for Firebat based on kind of like misinformation that he was the only one with the internet issues. So, well, obviously, if you have internet issues, then you kind of have to forfeit the game. But then D2 started having problems, Sixto started having problems, and then Savjz Skype also started having problems. So yeah, we kind of Savjz kind of agreed to do a re-series, and then Firebat agreed to do a 0-0 instead of the 2-0 when the DDoS attacks start happening. So really good on both players. That was really exciting. I'm really glad that we got to see that series actually, instead of
Yeah,
the more awkward series from yesterday.
exactly. I
So
think
there you go. Yeah. So wait, go ahead. Sorry, I was interrupting.
yeah, I think this one is a lot more of a redeeming of a series, because the last one just had so many problems, was so awkward, so many
Mhm.
forfeits and regames and concedes, disconnects. So yeah, I'm glad we got to see a real fair series between these players, and
Right.
Firebat takes it in a close 3-2, and Firebat is moving on to play D2 now.
Yeah, that's right. So we're gonna go on a quick break to get the players set up, and when we're back, we're gonna have D2 versus Firebat in the semifinals of the Pinnacle, guys. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.